Not every glowing shape in the night sky is a star.
Some are clouds, vast clouds of dust and gas, lit from within or lit from without,
Floating between the stars themselves. Welcome back to the anatomy of everything. Last time, we explored our own galaxy, the Milky Way. Today, we zoom into some of its most beautiful residents, nebulae, and the star clusters that form within and around them. A nebula is simply a cloud of dust and gas inside a galaxy. On its own, a cloud like this is invisible. It only becomes visible in one of three ways. Emission nebulae shine because their gas is energized by radiation from hot young stars nearby, causing it to glow on its own, like a neon sign. Reflection nebulae don't produce their own light at all. They simply reflect starlight off their dust, the way fog reflects a car's headlights. Dense enough to block light entirely, appearing as black silhouettes against brighter clouds or stars behind them. Dense enough to block light entirely, appearing as black silhouettes against brighter clouds or stars behind them. The Trifid Nebula shows two of these types at once. Its lower, pinkish region is an Emission Nebula, energized star-forming gas glowing on its own. Its upper, blue-toned region is a Reflection Nebula, simply scattering starlight through dust. Dark lanes of dust cut across both, and at its heart lies a starbirth region, a dense knot where gas and dust are actively clumping together to form new stars. The Orion Nebula is one of the closest and brightest examples of an Emission Nebula, visible even to the naked eye as a faint smudge below Orion's belt. At its core sits the Trapezium, four especially bright young stars, whose intense ultraviolet radiation lights up the surrounding gas cloud in red and green. But newer, more detailed observations have revealed far more than four stars here. Space telescopes have identified well over 1,000 young stars embedded throughout this single nebula, many of them still surrounded by the swirling disks of gas and dust that could one day form planets. In 2023, one of the most unexpected discoveries in this region wasn't stars at all. Astronomers found dozens of pairs of Jupiter-sized objects drifting freely, bound to each other but to no star whatsoever. Nobody fully agrees yet on how they formed. Not far from Orion sits the Horsehead Nebula, one of the most recognizable dark nebulae in the sky. Its distinctive silhouette isn't glowing at all. It's a dense pillar of gas and dust, blocking the bright red Emission Nebula glowing directly behind it. Nearby, the bright star Alnitak, part of Orion's belt, lights up its surroundings, showing how emission, reflection, and dark nebulae often exist within the very same small patch of sky. Not every nebula marks the birth of stars, some mark their death. When a star like our Sun reaches the end of its life, it sheds its outer layers into space, forming an expanding shell of glowing gas called a planetary nebula. Despite the name, this has nothing to do with actual planets.
Early astronomers, looking through primitive telescopes, thought these round, glowing shells resembled the disks of distant,
and the name simply stuck.
The Helix Nebula is one of the most famous examples.
A glowing ring of gas surrounding what remains of a dying star's core. A superheated remnant with a surface temperature of roughly 100,000 degrees Celsius. Red light comes from hot, ionized hydrogen. Blue-green light comes from hot, ionized oxygen and nitrogen. A far more violent kind of stellar death produces something different, a supernova remnant. When a massive star runs out of fuel, it doesn't fade gently, it explodes, hurling its outer layers outward at incredible speed. The Vela supernova remnant shows the aftermath of exactly that kind of explosion. Glowing filaments of hydrogen gas heated and illuminated by the shockwave of a star that violently tore itself apart. Stars themselves are often born and grouped together in what astronomers call clusters. Born from the very same cloud of gas, slowly drifting apart from one another over time. The Pleiades is one of the most famous open clusters. Home to more than 1,000 young stars, several of them still passing through wisps of leftover dust and hydrogen gas, lit up as a faint blue reflection nebula around them. Modern star mapping data has even revealed something the naked eye could never show. A long, faint tidal tail of stars, slowly escaping the cluster and stretching far into space, direct evidence of the cluster gradually coming apart. Globular clusters are something else entirely. Dense, tightly packed, roughly spherical groupings of hundreds of thousands of much older stars, like Hodge 11. For decades, astronomers assumed globular clusters were simple. One single generation of stars, all born at the same time from the same cloud. Many globular clusters actually contain multiple distinct generations of stars, with slightly different ages and chemical compositions, suggesting these ancient clusters have a longer, messier history of star formation than anyone originally assumed. So nebulae and star clusters are really two sides of the same story.
Nebulae are stellar nurseries and stellar graveyards, the beginning and the end of a star's life, written in glowing gas.
Clusters are simply the family stars are born into, some staying loosely together for a while, some staying bound tightly for billions of years. Every star you've ever looked up at, including our own sun, was born inside a cloud exactly like these. And someday, in one form or another, every star returns its material back into a cloud like this too. This has been the anatomy of everything. Next time, we go inside the stars themselves, from the smallest, faintest stars in the galaxy to the largest, most massive giants we know of.